Now, this book I call Free Spirit is a book, it's a dialogue between myself and a spiritual being who was in her last life known as Margaret Cusack, and was famous as the nun of Kenmare. Now, I didn't know anything about her, I never heard of her, but I found out early on, way back, as far back as 1978, that she was one of my guides. This was made known to me in a roundabout sort of way, but it was, I accepted it, even though I wondered why, and particularly as I found out more about her, her being, having been a nun as such, I wondered about how she came to be working with me. But anyway, she was very much, she wasn't an Orthodox nun. She was brought up as an Anglican. After the death of her fiance, she was very devastated, and she became an Anglican nun, and then after about 5 years she converted to Roman Catholicism, and she made her name in Kenmare, where she was assigned to help to found a branch of the order there, and she wrote prolifically, helping people who were hungry or people who were very poor, and people who were, like particularly women who had no recourse to education. So whatever money she made, she used it for all those projects. But of course she ran into trouble with the ecclesiastical authorities, and eventually she went over to England and she founded a branch of a new order in Nottingham, and then subsequently went to America to see how she could fund the motivation of the order, which was to help the poor essentially. But again, she ran into great trouble with the hierarchy there, and eventually she decided she couldn't stay with that type of authoritarianism, and she left, and she went on doing lectures around America, and she got into ill health, came back to England and died in England in 1899. So that was a potted version of what she was like, but in coming through to me, I had her as a regular guide for many years, until then it was then many years later that I got the message that she wanted to write with me, and in fact this book, which you call The Free Spirit at the time, was first published in 1999. And it's a record of the dialogue between us, and it shows things that, particularly what happened when she died, how she was received, and she gives many examples of working with people also who have passed on. And she also, in it, there's a real love story, if you like, of a couple who, over different centuries, how they kept meeting up with each other, and how things didn't work out for them in first couple of lifetimes, but eventually did in the later one. So it's a book, I think, that has a lot of hope in it and a lot of compassion. And I found over the years that people who live with fear, and particularly fear of dying, find it very consoling and comforting. So that's broadly, when asked her particularly what she wanted to achieve with it, she wanted to shout a big yes to life, to the death of death, as it were. So that's broadly the thing. But one of the things with her, she's a great sense of humour, and is, I suppose you could call her very irreverent in many ways, so.